Hello my kohais, hope you're all doing well. I am your host Tyranno Senpai, and welcome back to another episode of Tyranno Senpai's Toy Reviews. It has been quite a long one. I think our last unboxing was December of last year, which is crazy to think about. Anyway, we are back with another Beast of the Mesozoic review, and this time we're going to be unboxing something pretty cool. I am late to the party though, by 10 months. I know, I'm a bit slow on the uptake. But this was a dinosaur I was very much looking forward to. When I saw the concept art, I went nuts. And now that it's finally here, I get to review it for you guys. Today, we are unboxing the Beast of the Mesozoic 1/18 scale Allosaurus Fragilis. And it is immaculate looking. So why don't we start off, as usual, with the box. So we are treated first to a window here, which shows us the dinosaur inside, which looks very nice. I can't wait to crack this thing open. Of course, we got the Beast of the Mesozoic logo right here on the top. And of course, we have this beautiful art piece designed by Gabriel Uguedo of an Allosaurus standing over a Camptosaurus figure, when David Silva. Then we have, the species name, Allosaurus Fragilis. We turn it to the side of the box. We have the Beast of the Mesozoic logo here with the figure name again. Then we turn it to the back of the box, which has, the stats about the dinosaur, general facts, and some features of the action figure, some of the other figures you can collect. And of course, this beautiful, beautiful picture of the Allosaurus on the packaging. And then of course, if we flip it to the top, once again, you have that Beast of the Mesozoic logo, dinosaur action figure, Creative Beast Studios, and of course, a warning for, choking hazards and stuff like that, adult collectibles. And then we flip it down to the bottom of the box. Here you have the barcode in case you want to find it in your area or online, wherever. And of course, we have the designers, which was David Silva and Gabriel Uguedo. The sculpt was made by Jake Burrows and Raul Ramos. The paintwork was done by Matt Holt. Prototypes were by Raul Ramos and Jerry Muntz. The packaging art, again, Gabriel Uguedo. And the packaging itself was Stephen Melick, which is all well and good. So, overall, first impressions of the box, absolutely love it. So, I guess without further ado, let's get this bad boy out of the box. And now, we throw out the box. Now, excuse me while I put the tail on this guy. And here it is, folks. The Beast of the Mesozoic Allosaurus out of the box and all put together. When I saw it in the box originally, I thought it was quite small. But now that the tail's been added on, now it's got some added length. So let's go ahead and take a look at what came in the box, and then we'll get to this guy. So, as per usual with your Beast of the Mesozoic figures, you do get an instruction leaflet that tells you all about the figure, such as the swappable feet, of course, the jaw articulation, the new stands that we're going to be trying out, and of course, all the stuff you need to learn about the figure. And also, much like all the other Beast of the Mesozoic figures, you get a collector's card featuring the box art, which is amazing. I absolutely love Gabriel Uguedo's paleo art. He is the guy that was like one of the art consultants for Prehistoric Planet. terrific artist. I highly recommend you check him out on his socials. We flip to the back, we have a nice little picture of the figure and some stats. Allosaurus fragilis, meaning different lizard. Length up to 9.7 meters, 32 feet long. Weight 3,300 pounds or 1,500 kilograms. Location, the Morrison Formation in central United States. Time period, 155 to 145 million years ago during the late Triassic period. NANI? Triassic? Jurassic. Whoa, hold up. Oops-a-daisy. Named by Othniel Charles Marsh in 1877. As the top predator of the Morrison Formation, Allosaurus likely preyed on large herbivorous dinosaurs. Its skull was light and robust with dozens of teeth, and also sported powerful arms with large claws. Allosaurus fragilis is a type species and is known from the remains of at least 60 species, which is incredible. We also have parts here for a base, which includes an arm, a adjustable step base, a peg for the feet, and this little chest piece that goes under the dinosaur. You get about 2 of these little pegs, which I will show how to assemble later. And lastly, you also get a set of interchangeable feet. We have the traditional raised toes to indicate a dinosaur mid-step, and closed-toed to indicate a dinosaur whose foot is off the ground. And this time, if you look closely, you can actually see that they've actually labeled it. So this is the right foot. And so now it's no longer a guessing game. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, the beast of the Mesozoic, Allosaurus. Right out the gate, it is spectacular. David Silva and his team have done a glorious job recreating the Allosaurus fragilis. There are multiple species of Allosaurus. There's Dimensini, there's Europaeus, fragilis, and just recently, as this year, we got Allosaurus annex, formerly known as Saurophaganax. And each of these Allosaurus have a different shape of skull, and this perfectly represents the Allosaurus fragilis. They are making a Beast of the Mesozoic Allosaurus Dimensini, and they have already released a Cyberzoic version of the Dimensini species. But I decided to go with this one because I like green, and also I didn't have time to wait on a Beast of the Mesozoic Allosaurus Dimensini, so I might as well grab this while they're still in stock. And it is truly immaculate. It is mostly a bright green color. The color is inspired by green iguanas, which really shows. But of course, with this being Beast of Mesozoic, they did take some liberties. Like, for example, we have this beautiful bright blue crest and horns on the snout and above the eyes. I absolutely love the color blue, so seeing this kind of coloration on a big theropod dinosaur really makes my day. And we also got these orange sort of stripes on the snout and around the eye. We have this nice wrinkly texture like under the crest and in front of the eye, which is absolutely lovely. And there is quite an intricate amount of detail. Like, look at that. All those tiny little individual scales have been sculpted in. Like, you have to get up really close to see them. Like, you got some pretty obvious ones there, and like all around the mouth, but then you got these tiny scales right there, here on the fenestra, and like on the jaw, which is quite impressive. It just reminds me of like the T-Rex, with like how well detailed the scale is. And of course, there is like a dark green wash in between the scales. And then we flip it over onto its underbelly. We can see, you know, some creases in the throat, like, you know, connecting to the jaw. And then if we open the mouth, so we can take a look at that. Let's get a gander in here. The mouth is a lovely shade of like pinkish orange. The teeth are, as usual, individually painted. And I can see some internal nostrils here on the roof of the mouth in the palate, which is a nice detail. We have a beautifully sculpted tongue. The whole inside of the mouth and teeth, and of course the eyes, have a gloss over them, giving them like this shine, you know, to give the illusion that it's all wet. The eye itself is like a bright yellow, with a black pupil, which looks really nice. And of course, we got like a little red dot here in the ear canal. Move it over to the neck, we have like these bumps, like warty bumps on the back of the neck, and all these creases in the scales and all that stuff. We got neck rolls. We flip it over to the bottom again. We have a nice ribbing texture and some more of those beautiful underscales. And then of course, you know, we have the start of like the orange transitioning to a brown pattern along the neck. And then we move on to the body, which is again that bright shade of green, but there's like a olive green sort of patch on its back, which is broken up by these almost tiger-like sort of brownish black stripes, which look really cool. We have a nice little olive green belly with some lovely skin texture. We got scales, we got wrinkles and folds and stuff like that, which is quite nice. We move on to the arms. They are well muscular. You can see like creases of the skin. You can see little scales, huge muscles, and then of course, huge hands with giant claws. Like, look at the size of that thumb claw. Normally, like with some popular depictions of dinosaurs, they don't get the thumb claw right. They'll normally just do the middle claw as the biggest. But traditionally, the thumb claw of a dinosaur is the biggest one. And they have done it beautifully here. Look at that. Although in this pose, I can't really take it seriously. It kind of looks like it's just doing a dance. Like it's getting ready to clap.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
We move on to the legs. We have a continuation of that nice skin texture. We got rolls of skin on the thigh here. We got some brownish black dots and a brownish black kneecap. The calf is well defined. The ankle has all these scoots, and of course the toes are painted in a nice shade of reddish brown with black claws. And of course the dew claw is painted. And also I'm noticing there is a different kind of foot joint here, which I'm looking forward to testing out. And of course at the bottom of the foot we have, you know, the peg hole and all the texturing of the foot, which looks lovely. We have a cloaca here, of course. That's how we know it's scientifically accurate when it includes something like that. And then we have this long green tail with these irregular like striping along the back that goes all the way to the tip of the tail. All in all, the sculpt and the paint on this Allosaurus is phenomenal. Absolutely love this Allosaurus. And with that, I think it's time we move on to comparisons. So to kick it off with comparisons, here it is alongside the beast of the Mesozoic 1/18 scale Velociraptor, which is absolutely tiny. You know, I've reviewed things from the Triceratops to the Pachyrhinosaurus to, of course, the T-Rex. And yet, even then, this thing is tiny in comparison to all the figures I have reviewed so far. And here we have it alongside the beast of the Mesozoic Nasutoceratops, rivals brought back together again after battle at Big Rock. And now that we actually have a 1/18 scale Allosaurus, I'm beginning to see just how one-sided the fight might have actually been if they had used an accurately sized Nasutoceratops. That Allosaurus would make short work of that poor thing. And here it is right next to the juvenile Tyrannosaurus, which at the moment was the biggest of the medium theropod figures I had. And yeah, even at this size difference, that Allosaurus would have no issue making this baby T-Rex a meal. And to finish it off with comparisons, we might as well chuck it in with the biggest figure in the line so far, the 1/18 scale Tyrannosaurus Rex, which I have ordered a new base for and has both of its posable legs on. I'm telling you, you need to get one of these things because now it is actually kind of worth getting a T-Rex. I mean, yes, I do wish we had gotten this from the start, and I know I had complaints about the arm in the past, but it's keeping my Rex stable, and now I'm actually able to get a lot more mileage with these posable legs. I've had this thing for about a week now, and that T-Rex has not moved from that pose at all in its time. So I highly suggest you pick up one for yourself. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Next to the Allosaurus, this T-Rex is still gargantuan. I do know that there is a Spinosaurus. I'm very much looking forward to that and seeing how they handle it. So far, I think we've only seen the head and like the body of the body's silhouette, but I'm very much excited for that. So, with all of those comparisons out of the way, let's move on to articulation. When it comes to beasts of Mesozoic, you get what you pay for when it comes to articulation. So to start with, we have a movable jaw, which can open and shut completely flush in a nice fluid movement. You can also, I believe, articulate the tongue as usual. Trouble is that it's a very small joint, so I'm probably not going to move it around too much, but it can go up and it can go down. And of course, you can also swivel the head. It can go left, right, a little bit up, a little bit down. But then we have this neck piece here, which basically is a floating piece, which kind of goes well with the rest of the articulation. Then we have this neck joint here that allows it to look up, allows it to look down, look left, look right. And then we have an additional neck joint that, again, moves left, right, up and down, and can swivel, which provides an amazing range of articulation. Like, we can actually now have a dinosaur that's looking completely left and completely right. I am really hoping that we get these neck pieces in for the T-Rex, because I would love to have the ability to upgrade it, and also, you know, the ability to open it and close its mouth a bit more. Also, we do have a shoulder joint. We can move the arm out and in. We can move it forward and backward. And of course, because it's on the ball joint, we can swivel it. We also have elbow articulation, where we can pull it back, pull it forward, and also swivel it ever so slightly. And then we have wrist articulation, which, you know, has a bend at the wrist, which can bring the wrist in, can bring the wrist out. And as far as swiveling, it's very limited in motion. So if you're going to try to pronate the wrist, it's not going to work all that well. Although, why would you want to? Then, of course, we have torso articulation. We can turn right. We can turn left. We can turn right. We can look down, and we can bring it up. And of course, with leg articulation, we can pull it back, pull it forward. And with knee articulation, we can pull it back, pull it forward, and swivel. The ankle can also go back and forward. And the foot can also go back and forward, and because it's also on a joint, it swivels. And then, of course, tail articulation. We have three pieces. We have the joint that attaches to the rest of the body, which can swivel all around. We have another piece here that also swivels around and goes left and right. And then, of course, this last piece here, which can also move left and right and also has a bendable wire at the end. What's cool about this is that the middle tail segment is actually shorter than the rest, which I actually quite like, and I hope other figures adopt this as well. Now, there is another thing you can do with the Allosaurus to get better poses. We do have those alternate feet, and now I'm going to show you how to use the base. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to pop off one of these Allosaurus's feet. So to pop off your Allosaurus's foot, all you got to do is pull it out of the joint here, if I can get it out. There we go, and it's just a little peg, which is much better than what they had originally, which was just like a big round ball. And I think it is quite nice that they've changed it to this, and then we just put the foot into the peg hole. And if it clicks in, there you go. You got a brand new foot. So now let's go ahead and take a look at that base. So with your Allosaurus, you get two of these peg holes, you know, that act as a base. And all you gotta do is peel off the sticker and align it properly, which I shall now demonstrate. And here we have the two pegs, which will now catch on any surface to keep the figure from shifting around. And then, of course, these also come with an arm and a stand for the arm. And all you gotta do to get it in is twist it in there, like so. There you go. And then it just clicks right in. And then you can just move your arm up, down, you can turn it. That way, you know, it stabilizes your figure. And of course, you also have a chest piece here that keeps your dinosaur balanced if you decide to not use the pegs. But of course, if you want to, all you gotta do is just slide the base onto the arm like so. Like so. There you go. And then, there you go. You got your base. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and pose this Allosaurus. And here is our Allosaurus all posed, poised, and ready to strike. With, of course, an alternate feet, the standing rod, and the peg, and all that stuff. And yeah, I absolutely adore this figure. Allosaurus is one of my personal favorite dinosaurs, so I'm so happy that, you know, it finally got an action figure for the Beast of the Mesozoic line, and they did not disappoint at all. I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, the Beast of the Mesozoic version. You know, they are releasing a 1/35th scale one, but I'm hoping they release a 1/18th scale like this one, because that would be awesome. I absolutely adore this Allosaurus. It's probably one of my favorite figures in the entire collection. And yeah, I love it. There's not really much else for me to say. It is, of course, you know, being a larger figure on the more expensive side, about this much here, but at the end of the day, you're getting what you're paying for. A scientifically accurate sculpt with beautiful detail, amazing paint, and awesome articulation. You can't really go wrong with Beast of the Mesozoic. I'm honestly looking forward to, you know, seeing what the future will bring. I know that Pachycephalosaurus is on the horizon, as well as Stegosaurus, which I am very much excited about. But yeah, that's, I think, going to be the end of the review. Again, really sorry I am a bit late to this party, but, you know, better late than never. If you enjoyed this review and you're looking forward to seeing more Beast of the Mesozoic content in the future, leave a like, subscribe today, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything new. All my links are in the link tree in the description down below, and until next time, this is Tyrannus Senpai signing off. Alrighty then, take care now. Bye bye then.